Daddy born poor, Mama was too. Walking through the snow, plastic bags on their shoes. Papa selling houses, sleeping in a car. 4 babies in the back seat, underneath the stars. Well, hey, hey, just work a little harder. Hey, hey, punching that clock with work and prayer and a little bit of luck. Make so much money, need a 10-ton truck. Ha, 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 ha.
Good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad you could be with me this morning here at Forex Smart Trade. Our goal is to help you become a successful currency trader using our proprietary, highly accurate indicators. And we, excuse me again, and we do that with providing you with a one-on-one personalized instruction, which we believe is the most efficient and effective way to teach you to trade. So with that, let us our purpose here is twofold. One is to show you how well the tools work, and two, give you some instruction on how to trade better. If you're able to follow what I do and copy it, you will be a good trader. So with that, let's get going. We'll start by listening to this guy.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
One of the great things about the program is that we do these live trades. And when you are a member, we do them every day, multiple times a day. There's a short with multiple different instructors, so you get to see different different personalities with different trading styles. As we coach you, we've got a dozen different signals that you can trade with, and we will develop and we will show you them, and we'll develop a trade plan around them for a signal that suits your personality and your risk profile. I principally use something called the 10-point trade off of the 1-hour chart. And but there are other signals. In the morning, we do a live trade at 10 a.m. Eastern time. In the evening, we do a live trade at 10 p.m. Eastern time. On this trade, he is generally going for well over 20 pips. And then again, at 10 p.m. Eastern time, where it's morning time in Australia, and we are trading Australian pairs, and generally that's a 10+ pip trade. Then we have additional paid sessions. When you are a light, you get access to a limited schedule. So this morning we're here, and later on tonight there'll be an intro to coaching session. I trade off of a checklist. It's kind of like a pilot's checklist, and it helps keep me organized. Every day I reboot my green chart so that it clears out the memory and it performs a little bit better. And I also check to make sure my MetaTrader 4 is connected and live. At the end of each day, I take a look at what trades didn't do what I wanted them to do and why that might have been, so I can tweak my analysis and make sure, you know, good trading is about being disciplined, and sometimes we all have a tendency to do bad habits, and sometimes the review helps you stay focused and avoid those bad habits. As we are technical traders, which means our indicators are giving us signals based on the price action, and they are very, very accurate and predictive, which is one of the reasons our signals are different than other types of analysis that basically focus on the past. We want to know what the news is, so that if there are news items can affect currency price movement, and we want to know what they are so we can trade around them. And we figure out what those are by going to forexfactory.com. And Forex Factory breaks news items down into yellow, which are low impact, orange, which is medium impact, and red, which is high impact. I tend to pay specific attention to the reds, and basically I want to be out of a trade 2 hours before this news item. So we are now within the 2-hour window. So we will not take a trade on the USD this morning, because what I find sometimes happens is this news leaks a little bit. Certain people have access to it, and they trade on it. So you'll start to see things that don't match the what the indicator's telling you, and that's because of the news item. And this red item is coupled with an orange item, which is unemployment claims. So it's too hard for us to predict what the news is and the impact of it, so we just trade around it. On things like this, Jackson Hole Symposium, one of the all-day events, I'm not gonna not trade all day because of this. You'll see this sometimes with OPEC meetings too. There'll be an all-day OPEC meeting. So, all right. So with that, we will skip trading on the Euro USD. Let's get into it. So we are going to do our analysis, and the trade I'm doing is called a 10-point trade. And I'm going to start off with a 1-hour chart. And basically, I'm looking for all the lines to line up, or at least a good majority of the lines to line up. And I'm looking for 7 out of 10. And on our chart, there are 3 sections. The majors and minors, which is this middle section. The TNTs, which is this top section. And the pressure, which is this bottom section. And then on all 3, I start with, let me take a cough drop here, or see if I can kill this thing. I start with the middle section, and I am looking for situations where the lines are either above the blue line. This horizontal blue line is the overbought line. So when the prices are up here, that is a good time to sell. Or where the lines are below the red line, which is the oversold line. And when the lines are down here, that's a good time to buy. Specifically, what I'm looking for is I want all the lines coming down. I want them above the overbought line and all coming down, which they are here. And the red and green lines are just entering the channel, which is like, this is perfect. I don't mind that the miners have kind of run through the channel. They're already kind of on the oversold line. So I've got 3 points here. Point number 1 is that we're overbought. Point number 2 is that all the lines are going down. And point number 3 is I call it the double cross, where the red line is crossed over the green, and the black line is crossed over the gray. So 3 points here. Other thing, which is not kind of part of the trade, but it gives me more confidence, is what the slope of the green line is. The slope of the green line is greater than kind of 45 degrees. So if you're thinking of that as 45, or this is 45, this is sloped more to more than 45. So I like that. When I have 3 points here, I go up to the TNTs, and I count how many lines are supporting the sell signal that I'm seeing here. So the 2 orange lines are going down. Dotted blue is going up. The blue lines are inversely related, and what that means is when blue goes up, that means sell. So actually both blues are going up. So all 4 are telling me sell. And then the last part of the signal is what's the pressure doing? And here we've got very weak up pressure, and it's starting to go sideways now. And what makes it weak is the slope of the line, the steepness of the line, and how close the lines are. And the lines are separating, they're spreading. The green is moving away from the red, but the red line is on top. And if the red line is on top, that gives me a point. So I like this setup. We've got 8 points here. 1 here, 3 here, and 4 here. And what we're trying to do is, if we can get each of these sections are measuring something different, and when we can get agreement over all 3 of them, that's a high probability trade. High probability trade. And I want to get a high probability trade, and I'll wait for my setup. So this gives me the highest chance of the trade doing what I think it's going to do. Also, it allows me to get in and out of the trade quickly. When we're trading off of a 1-hour chart, and we're trading off of the light 6 major, which is one of the standard layout charts, I expect the trade to close between 1 to 3 hours. Now, our only issue here is we've got this news item, so we're going to pass. But in terms of setups, I like this setup. I like this setup. Here, Euro USD oversold, everybody's going down. Pound USD oversold, everybody's going up. USD Canadian dollar. This is another nice signal. Everybody's going up. Double cross, and just entering the channel, and good slope to the line. In fact, yeah, this is a nice signal. All 4 here, and here this is a little bit stronger than what we're seeing over here. So we've got all 4 here, and we have down pressure, sideways pressure, with green on top. So again, we've got 8 points here. In terms of these 2 signals, I like this one better than this one. This seems a little steeper to me than this over here, although this has a kink in the line on the Australian USD, where it's going from less steep to more steep. I like it when you get that kink in the line and it goes more steep. Yeah, it's too bad that there's news item again. Here we're in the channel more than halfway. Usually, once the majors go more than halfway, I'm not interested. I want to catch something when it's up here, and then ride it through the channel. So, say for example, had we don't really see where. All right, it started to track down here, and we been able to catch this. You know, that was a 20-pip move through the channel. So that's what I'm looking for. Can I get 20 pips from when it's down here? Yeah. And sometimes, you know, I've taken trades when the 1 hour's here, But I'm looking also at the 2 and the 4 hour, and the 2 and the 4 hour are up here starting to go down. So even though this is exhausted, the longer time periods are telling me there's much more down on the move. But that starts to get into exceptions, and here I kind of want to keep it simple. I want to find just the kind of the pure trade setup. So we've got a good setup here, and on the Australian, on the USD yen oversold. Minors are going up, majors are going sideways, so we don't like that. So we have a couple good signals here, but because of the news item, we're not going to take them. So what I've done is I've cloned that chart and renamed it 6 Major 2, and I've got another 6 currency pairs, but these are all non-US based pairs. So on this first, on Euro Pound, oversold, everybody's still going down, so we're going to just pass. Australian Yen, we're in the middle of the channel, or past the middle of the channel, so we're going to pass. Other reason, I don't like to trade the Australian dollar yen at this time of day because it is evening in both of these markets. So because it's evening in both of these markets, it is going to take longer for the move to occur. And when I trade, I want to be able to get in and out. I want to have the capital at risk the shortest amount of time that I can. So this means I have to wait a long time. Now, I guess the only difference to that or exception to that is I do send out a trade on the Euro USD at 6 p.m., which is the end of the day in both of those markets. But I am taking that trade off of a day chart. And so I am expecting a bump later in the day, later in the course of the evening. So I'm not trading off of an hour chart, and that read off of the day chart that tends to be very accurate. So that's the difference. So here we're trading on a 1 hour chart. It's the middle of the night. Someone has asked me if we can do that on the on other pairs, and we probably can. In one of these days, when I have some time, I'll sit down and kind of back test it and see if it works as well on other pairs as it does on the Euro USD. Euro Canadian dollar oversold, going down. Australian New Zealand dollar, this is off market time for both of these. Oversold, everybody's going sideways. Pound yen, oversold, going down still. Euro Australian dollar oversold and going down. So nothing there. So let's go to our next group. Canadian dollar yen, we're more than halfway. Euro New Zealand dollar, oversold, going down. Pound New Zealand dollar, this is okay because it's noontime in England, even though it's nighttime in New Zealand. We're oversold, everybody's going up, and I've got the double cross. But I don't like the steepness of the green line here. The steepness of the green line bothers me. In fact, there's a little kink here, which you can barely see. The line looks straight, but it is kinking and it's going a little bit down. So it's going from more steep to less steep. I don't like that kink on the line. So, we do have 3 out of 4 here, and we do have the green on top here. So I've got 7 points. But I just don't like the slope of this line. So with that, we're going to see if we find something better. New Zealand dollar yen, nighttime in both of these markets. So I wouldn't take a trade right now. Plus, we're kind of halfway. We're halfway through the channel, so we're a little bit more than halfway. And I'm defining halfway by what the green line is doing. The green line on the majors determines to me whether it's halfway or not. New Zealand USD. As with all the other USD pairs, this is not a bad setup. We've got 3 out of the 4 here. We've got red on top with the lines diverging, but we're not going to take it because we got that news item. And here, in addition to the 3 points, the line is going from less steep to more steep. There's a kink in the line here that's making it a little bit more, giving it a little more steep. Euro Swiss franc, oversold. Everybody's going down. Everybody's going down, so nothing there. So let's go to the 4th tab. So right now we've gone through 18 pairs, haven't found the setup. Well, we've seen some setups that we like, but we're not going to take them because of news items coming. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Overbought. Everybody's going down. We're more than halfway. I'm going to pass. Swiss franc, yen, oversold. So here's an example. You know, we were basically oversold. The line turned, and there was a nice move here. Let's see how many pips it was worth. Come on, why isn't it showing me the pips? Huh. Am I missing it? I don't see it showing me the amount of pips. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's up here. So 15 pips. So, you know, my sweet spot is 10 pips. On a 1-hour chart, you can get anywhere from 5 to 35 pips. And here, oversold, we were able to generate that 10 pips. But again, I'm looking for, it's about probabilities, and I'm looking for trades that give me the highest probability of kind of the easiest path to 10 pips. And it's easier to get 10 pips from up here than it is from up here, from down here. Euro pound, oversold, going down. Pound Australian dollar. We have 3 points here. Everybody's going up. Oversold. In fact, we have a kink in the line going from less steep to more steep, but I just don't like this slope. The slope isn't quite steep enough for me. I'd like to see a steeper slope. 3 points. 3 points here. The 2 orange lines going up, dotted blue coming down. And we've got green on top, and the green is separating. It's pulling a little bit away from, you know, the distance here is greater than kind of the distance over here. But I'd rather see a bigger slope here, a greater slope going up. New Zealand Swiss franc, overbought sideways. Canadian dollars, Swiss franc, it's turned and it's basically overbought and going up. So, you know, we have a signal here, but I'm just not crazy about the slope. I'd rather take something that has where the slope is a little greater. I don't want to kind of force fit a square peg in a round hole. The signal's there, but it's not, to me, it's not great. And you can see as it's, you know, now it's kind of gone from more steep to less steep. It's gone down. It's kinking down. And as it kinks down, it starts to lose the double cross. So we are going to pass. But again, another one of the great things about the signals are we've got multiple signals to trade from. And so now I'm going to change up and use a different signal, something called the thick orange line signal. And on the thick orange line signal, this is kind of a down and dirty trade. It doesn't require any calculation. On the 10-point trade, once we see the setup, we need to confirm the setup and then figure out what it's worth. Here, it's always worth the same thing. Off of the 1 hour chart, this trade is worth 5 pips, and I am looking for situations of what the thick orange line is doing. And the thick orange line is a scaled number, and that number is shown up here. And when it goes as far down as it can, it is at 0. So it is at 0 now. So what that is telling me is that the thick orange line thinks there's no more down in the movement. If there's no more down in the movement, that's the time to buy. However, given that I'm a high probability trader, I want something that confirms to me that there's no more down in the movement. And I get that confirmation by taking a look at what the majors and minors are doing. And basically, if this is at 0, I want all of these lines, specifically the red and the green, to be down here below the red horizontal line, the oversold line. And when I get that, when I get condition 1, 0, and condition 2, the lines are way below the red line, that is a high probability trade. Right now, the majors and minors are in the middle of the channel, and this is telling me there's more down in the move. So I don't want to take this trade. So what I'm looking for is this to be 0 or 10, and or within 1 point of either end, and then looking at where the position of the thick orange or the majors are. And this trade is good right at the top of the hour when there's less than 5 minutes left in the top of the hour. So so now we've got 3 minutes left. 0.74, yes. And our lines are way down here. So I've got condition 1. We're within 1 of the end, and all my red and green lines are well below the left, so below the horizontal line. So let's go ahead and take a trade on this. A 5 pip buy on the CHF JPY. So let's see if we've got that open here. We don't. So I am going to go to File, New Chart, and it'll probably be in this third group. CHF or CHF JPY. File, New Chart, CHF JPY right here. From 2 to 5, so it's a 2 pip spread. On a 2 pip spread on a 5 pip trade is a little too much. It's actually now it's bumped up to 3. So we are not going to take it. I don't want to give 3 pips to make 2 pips. So we're going to hold off on that. Let's see if we can find another one. Like on the Euro USD, the pip is going to be 2 or 3 points, not 2 or 3 pips. So 3 pips on a 5 pip trade is too much. Might I pay 3 pips on a 10 pip or greater trade? Yeah, I might consider that, but not on a 5 pip trade. 0.9 again, yes. Yes. Let's see what the spread is here. Euro pound. So file, new chart, Euro pound, Euro yen. All right, so here the spread is less than a pip. It's 4.3 to 5. So let us go ahead and take a buy. 5 pip buy. So I've got this is a demo account. There's $7,200 in it. I'm going to click new order. I'm going to change my lot size or volume to 0.72 based on how much is in the account. And then I'm going to click buy. I'm not going to worry about the stop loss or take profit yet. Once we get the trade recorded, I'm going to right click along it, and it'll highlight it in blue and pull up this menu. I'm going to click to go to modify. And if I put 50 in here, 50 points equals 5 pips, and click the little blue button, it does the math for me. And we're going to use a 4-to-1 on this. So 4-to-1 is going to make this 20 pip stop loss or 200 points. I'm going to click here. But since this trade is only worth 5 pips, I want to make sure I get the full 5. So I got in at 36.250. If I add 5 pips to that, I'm going to go up to 3. So this is a hair over 3. So we're at 136.302. So I'm going to keep that. So we took a trade on the euro yen. On the euro yen, a buy with a take profit of 136.302, 136.302, with a stop loss of 136.064, 136.064. And what we're hoping is going to happen when we see that condition where the majors or the thick orange line is at one end or the other, and then that's supported by the majors, it's basically like pulling an elastic. So when the clock changes, we're going to expect to see a little letting go of the elastic, and there'll be a little snap. That'll be good for 5 pips. Some traders on this actually want to wait and see this number change by 1, and it has. So if I pull this back, we're at 0.98, which is just under 1. And then we jumped up to 3 something. So it changed by 2.5. So I will expect this to close within the next hour. Thank you for joining me. We are here to make you successful professional traders. If you have questions, follow up with whoever you're working with, or you can schedule time with me at forexsmarttrade.com/schedule, and I'm happy to give you the counseling that you need to do this well. Thank you, everyone. We will see you on Monday evening. Have a good rest of the week. Bye-bye.